worthy by design. We are constantly in search of ways to better our lives and crafts. But how best to get this done will always be the pertinent question. How do I identify the right opportunities? How do I make the best of them? These and more are the focus of today's conversation. Hello, thanks for joining us on today's edition of Worthy by Design, brought to you by Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNNTV. On this show, we focus on the journey from girlhood to womanhood and everything in between. I'm Bird James. Welcome. Our conversation today is optimizing opportunities. Joining me is Blessing Ifeminam. She is a development specialist, gender and youth engagement expert. It's so good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And you look good, by the way.
Thank you so much. I you too.
All right, so optimizing opportunities. Let's start from here. Why are opportunities important?
Oh yeah, thank you. First of all, I think we need to even really have an understanding of what opportunity means.
Amazing.
Yeah. For me, I see opportunities as a set of circumstances that makes it possible for something to happen. Right, so this is what I see as an opportunity. It has to be a set of circumstances, maybe a situation or an action that makes it possible for something to happen, maybe at a particular time or maybe at a time frame, as the case may be. So I'm talking about how to recognize opportunity.
Okay, let's start with why is it important?
Okay, why opportunity is
yes,
important?
Why is it important?
Okay, since we have established that opportunities are a set of circumstances, of course, opportunities are important because one, opportunities makes you to get out there. One, to make you to get out there is important to everyone, whether you're a child, you're an adult, you are whatever, because at every point in your life, you should maybe have come across an opportunity or maybe opportunities that you need to really tap into or maximize, as the case may be. So opportunity is important because it will really help you to look inwards to understand whether you are doing the right thing. That is also how I see it. Importance of an opportunity. Am I doing the right thing? Am I at the right place at the right time? Am I really even supposed to doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing? Because it positions you. I know most times they say opportunities comes but once, you know, that kind of talk. But I don't really believe in that. But I think maybe in the course of the conversation, we can really discuss around that. So opportunities are really important because first, it has to put you out there. It has to even help you for people to get to know who you are, to maximize your full potentials, to also use your abilities, those God-given abilities that you have as an individual. That is why if you see things that are happening around today, people will keep on saying, why I need this an opportunity, I need this opportunity to do this thing, you know, that kind of thing. Because when those circumstances doesn't happen, you may actually not be able to do some of the things that you're supposed to do at that particular time, be it in a month, you know, that, as I said, it also has to be with a particular time frame, though it's continuously comes and goes, depending on how you understand it.
So it's like it helps you express the person you are.
You are, yes. Making people to understand who you are, express yourself, maximize your full potentials as a human being. And then bringing it home to, of course, young girls and women is also to understand, let people know who you are, put yourself out there. And people will be able to know the gift, the special gifts that you have in you.
Okay, let's stay there. you have come to the women, the young ladies, you know, because a lot of times it looks like they tend to shy from those opportunities, like, so I do not think I'm wayward, or so that I do not think I'm too, you know, pushy about things. How do we balance this need, you know, to take on opportunities and this perception of people
Oh yeah,
or society?
yeah. You know, unfortunately, we are living in a society whereby they continuously believe that young girls and women are supposed to be just seen, right,
And not
and not
heard.
heard.
Or
And
in
for
the other
me,
room.
but for me, it doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't really sit well, and it's also because of that culture of silence. We are not supposed to be out there. Even if you're out there, don't do more than your brothers, don't do more than the, you know, the opposite sex. And you see, most times you see young girls and women are not really living up to expectations, not trying, not living up to maximizing their full potentials. What God has deposited in a young girl, that you are supposed to go out there for people to understand and use your skills and your abilities. But most times you see that these things keep suppressing, just like you mentioned, is something that is really quite unfortunate in our culture, bringing it home. You know, most times culture has a way of really dealing with the way people go out there and express themselves. And then the family you come out from, the upbringing, as well as some of other social interactions that people see, of course. But then again, when I speak to young girls particularly, I always tell them, you shouldn't allow anybody to suppress you. You shouldn't allow anybody to put you down. God has made you, bringing it, of course, in his own image, and he has given you the abilities that you should be able to go out there, tell your story, let people know who you are. Because you can't continuously hide behind somebody
And contribute your quota.
of course, to the society. You can't continuously shy away or hide your potentials and your skills. No, it's high time they begin to come out. If you see an opportunity, perhaps maybe a job, for instance, you feel you can apply, that role fits you, go for it. Apply, even if you don't even get it, but make a first attempt. You want to run, go out and run. You want to speak, go out and speak, because you have the abilities. The abilities to maximize or make use of opportunities is not domicile in one gender, right?
Yes.
Is about how God has created us. So every young lady out there should be able to really recognize who you are. If you see opportunities to do something which really is not, of course, against the moral values of the society, you should be able to take on that and be able to not allow the circumstances, maybe cultural barriers or something, to hold you back. I don't subscribe to that school of thought. It doesn't cut well for me.
It even reminds me of, you know, the place in the Bible that said, you don't light a candle and put it under a bushel, or you don't cover a lighted candle. So if you are doing something and you see an opportunity to expose yourself, why not?
Exactly.
Amazing. So now the question will be, somebody will be like, okay, I really want to take on opportunities, but how do I recognize the opportunities around? It looks like I am not seeing them. I've been positioning, I've been doing all I feel I should be doing in order to, you know, attract those opportunities, but I'm not seeing them.
Yeah, I quite agree with you, because it's also something that is unfortunate, that most times people don't really, they feel like they don't recognize these opportunities. I'll begin by saying how to recognize opportunities. You can create them. Opportunities can be created, or you can go out there to see them. So within your space, within your family, within your circle, you can create opportunities within those environments where you are. But in a situation whereby opportunities are not coming forth, of course, you also have to go out there and look for them. Positioning yourself, right? That's what I said earlier. Positioning yourself. Okay, first of all, how to recognize an opportunity. One, you need to have an open mind, right? If you continuously have this mindset that I'm not good enough, I can't do this is for them. You know those kind of languages that people use, especially young girls. Yes, it's their thing. Let them do it. I'm not really worthy to do this. It's for
This
some
is not
people.
my person.
This is not my person. It's for some people. Let them just do it. No, you need to have an open mind, broaden your mind. Because when you work with a mindset that is already constrained, you will not be able to really recognize some of these opportunities that you should be able to exploit. The second one is also, there is always this saying that people should learn how to work smart and not work hard. Hard work is good, right? But then again, you also need to really learn how to work smartly. Because if you look at, I think this is my personal opinion, most times people that really work hard are not the people that makes it all the time.
True.
There are people that works hard. 5 a.m. they've left their house. They are working, they are doing so many things. But up to today, you will see where
you're not seeing the result.
Exactly,
right?
you're not seeing the result. But then when you work smart, like you're ready to work, to do things in a different way. Instead of continuously conventional way of doing things, it's also where innovation comes in as well. You need to really be smart, try to learn how to work smart, and also continuously try to change that narrative. You know, changing the narrative of the way things are. Who said that this is how it's supposed to be? I don't know if you get my point.
Yes.
Who said that this is how things are going to be?
That's just somebody's idea.
Yes, this is somebody's idea.
The way things are, somebody's idea.
Exactly. And you just wake up and say, okay, this room is supposed to be green. Who made it so? Do you that's some of this points.
You're permitted to change the status quo.
You are permitted to do your thing. You are permitted to do your thing your own way. I always say, provided it's not harming the next person to you. You're actually permitted, and is within the confines of the law, right? It's not harming anybody. So you are permitted to do your things differently. And then also continuously engage with people. Because no man is an island. If you don't go out to engage, you may not be able to see opportunities that you are not able to create for yourselves. Because I mentioned you can create them or you can go out there to see them. So it's also about networking with people, engaging with people, building healthy relationships. Because these are also some of the things that will help you to really see some of these things that we're talking about. And lastly, on that for me, would be beyond working, is something that is related to positioning yourself, right? Maybe if you are not positioning yourself with the right skills, opportunities can actually pass you by.
Okay. So you need to update your skill base.
Update your skills, whatever you are doing, and also try to be good in what you do. Continuously try to be good in what you do. So don't be comfortable. You know, most people, especially women and girls, are mostly comfortable. When you get so comfortable, you have a comfort zone. It also limits your ability to recognize opportunities around you.
So when you refuse to upgrade yourself and update, it limits your ability to recognize opportunities. That sticks with me. Okay, so we have talked about how to recognize opportunities. You have to be open-minded, work smart, you have to change the narrative, engage with people and build relationships. Now, sometimes we feel like opportunities are a bunch of, you said it's like a situation, a bunch of situations. But I'm not wondering, somebody says it's like a bunch of coincidences. Like, I stumbled, you hear people say I stumbled on this thing.
Yeah.
Should that be the mindset of somebody, of a lady or a young woman who is seeking to make it big, grow, to be great? Is that a good mindset, that you stumble on opportunity? Or what makes the stumbling significant?
Well, I think for me, the stumbling, well, it can happen, but in the event you are stumbling, were you ready? Do you understand? Because some people,
You don't stumble and
yes,
fall.
some people stumbled because they were ready.
Okay.
Let me give you an instance. If you are talking about stumbling, yes, some people will say, yes, they stumbled, they were passing by and this thing happened for them. But it's not always 100% all the time. Why do I say so? If, for instance, there is a job recruitment that is going on, and they're asking for people to submit their CVs, and someone you know in that organization that is able, maybe, perhaps, to influence you getting that job, you know you have stumbled because you may not have known about the job opening,
yeah.
that it was existing. Maybe you didn't see the advert. Sometimes in Nigeria it happens. You see people, they are just getting jobs. You are now wondering, how did it happen? Okay. So maybe somebody calls you up, someone that knows you that can influence your getting that job. He has an influence, she has an influence, maybe. And that is, for me, is stumbling. But if you don't have the requisite skills, the experiences and the knowledge, my dear, that opportunity, you will stumble and fall. Sincerely, because they need skills. There are some experiences that you really require to be able to fit in that role. So that's why you can stumble, but then again, you also need to be ready. Because in the process of that person getting you into that space, if you go there and you are not doing well, you'll be pushed out.
True.
And the next person that has the skills and the experiences will take it.
True.
So what do I mean? That opportunity has passed you.
True.
Because you stumbled on it, but you were not ready. So that's why I always talk about continuously making yourself to be better. In your own little way, if we are making hair, how do you try to learn the best hairstyles? So that tomorrow, when you go out there and people say, this is the style I want to make, you know you've improved, right? If you are cooking, how do you continuously engage to look at new recipes coming up? Or you just, perhaps in your own little corner. I remember those days when we were growing up, even now, let me just say this. You know, there is this, when you want to cook bitter leaf soup, for instance, for the Igbos, we grew up learning that you don't use onions in bitter leaf soup. And I don't know why. Nobody ever questioned this, right? Nobody. But that's how we grew up. Even me, up to today, I'm cooking bitter leaf soup. I've never used onions because I saw my mother do that a certain way. Why I'm saying this is this. But today, we've seen some chefs that cook bitter leaf soup and they put onions.
And it's nice.
And it's very nice. It didn't change the taste of the food, right? Because they try to research, to do things in a different way, more than what the status quo was. Because nobody said that if you put onions in bitter leaf soup, it will make the soup sour. No. It's still white. This is something that people just created and we keep on using them. So whatever you are doing, if you see yourself as a shoemaker, how do you continuously expand your skills, your knowledge, to be able to be the best shoemaker out there? In Abuja, if they count 1 to 10 shoemakers, if I'm a shoemaker, I want to be one of them. If I'm not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and maybe 10. Because it's not only enough to say, okay, I'm looking for when opportunities will see me. Opportunities, you can see those opportunities, but when you are not ready, it will pass you. People are there. There are a lot of people.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are out there that want to maximize some of these things. So I will just conclude this by saying, yes, you can stumble, but beyond stumbling, it doesn't really work like that for most people. There are people that you also have to position yourself. You also have to be ready when you see those circumstances to be able to make best use of them.
Amazing. It still takes me back to what you had said earlier about recognizing opportunities. You have to upgrade and update yourself and be the best at what you do.
Be the best at what you do.
So you had talked about creating opportunities earlier. Can you say a little more about that?
Okay, yes. What I mean by creating opportunities if they don't come to you, let me just give this instance. Beyond the work I do in the development space, I also have a kitchen business, even though, yeah.
Did you bring food for us?
Don't worry. Yeah, so beyond the whole gender expert and youth engagement expert, of course, I also have, and I wasn't like trained to be a chef or something. I didn't just wake up and started cooking or something. I created that opportunity for myself. I try to most times when I talk to also personalize some of these things so that people can really understand that it's not vague. We are not talking about things in the abstract, so that you can begin to also bring it home so that people can also recognize some of these things. So it happened some years back. I was working in one organization because most of our work are project based. When the donor, the funding has ended, of course, some of the staff will be laid out. So I happened to be on a project, and the project closed because our projects are usually time bound. So of course, then I was left with nothing to do. I began to, at that point, to research, what can I do, what do I. And for somebody that likes cooking, for somebody that really find it difficult to eat other people's meal and say this is wow, it's difficult. So I started like, oh, let me even see if I can try my hands on some of these things. So I started that in my mother's kitchen. And because when anytime I go to my parents' house, everybody leaves the kitchen for me because they know that I like to cook and I also cook well. So I said, why not? Let me also use this opportunity. So that was how I started. I already started the business with the CAC then. This was some years back. And along the line, opportunity came to cater for one organization. And that was for like a 6 months contract. And that was how we kidding. And it was big. And it was from that process I managed to see myself through my master's and all of that. So if I had gone back, why I try to bring the story is so that if I had gone back, because you talked about how do you create these opportunities. Yes, I created that space. It was not big, but from my mother's pot, I was cooking. I was not buying any. I didn't even make sober. But when this time came to be able to bid, we actually bidded because it was a contract. So many caterers in that location bidded, and we were selected. My catering this were selected, and we did that contract for like 6 months. Perhaps if I had sat at home, folded my hands and said, okay, let's just keep applying for job may come, but it takes a while. While I was doing this, I was also applying. There was no month I was not chunking out like 30 applications, but none of them was coming forth. But I had to really jump in on this, created that, use what I know that God gave me. I didn't go to learn them. Well, what I was in, maybe just doing small researches to upgrade some of the things you know. So this is an example of how
Opportunity
I
meets preparation.
Exactly, because I try to create. Perhaps if that bid, contract or tender didn't come out, or maybe it came out and I didn't have a registered business, which was part of the criteria for selection of the vendors, I wouldn't have been there.
Sure.
But I did all those at that point, registered the business, and was ready. Registering business without even a capital, raising up and also opening up a business account. At that point, just trying to arrange things. I didn't know what was going to happen. But all this happened within a time frame.
I'll hold you up there. I have listened to you and I was so carried away that I didn't remember that we need to go on a very short break.
Okay.
Trust me, there's plenty more to come. You see the way I've been captured. I'm sure you've been that captured. We'll see you soon.
Hello viewers, welcome to this week's episode on Health Watch on Advent Cable Network Nigeria. I am Angela Emeka Ebibu.
What we need as humans is to have a good spiritual life is more important than having an abundance of possessions without a healthy spirit.
We have issues that relate to sexual affairs. There is something called consent. If a person says no, that means she or he hasn't given their consent.
My mother delivered children on her own. A baby that is too big, how do you want it to come out without having issues?
Your faith does not negate you going for a medical check or engaging in a medical therapy. It doesn't.
The patient has his own right, and this right has to do with the right patient, the right drug, the right dose, the right duration, you understand? Even the right time in how it is given.
Worthy by design. Wow, so far so good. We've had a very beautiful and engaging conversation. I was not even in touch with time again because I was carried away. So we had been talking with the amazing Blessing Ifemina, and our conversation has been on optimizing opportunities. So we have talked about, how to recognize opportunities, and where we ended was how to create opportunities. So that means it is possible to create something for yourself if it looks like you're not seeing the opportunities around you. Okay, so I need you to round up on the creation of opportunities aspect before we move on.
Okay, yes, it's really possible to create opportunities. Most times young people in Nigeria will say there are no jobs, there are no opportunities. Even the small jobs is also about who knows who. But then again, some people have also gone out of their comfort zone to do things that are mind-blowing. You sit down with your father's house every day, you wake up, you're pressing phone. There are no jobs. Jobs will not fall from heaven. Jobs will not fall from heaven. You can start small. Go out there, look for something. Can you even volunteer? Can you go to an organization and say, okay, I want to volunteer without payment? Because as you are volunteering there, you are also building your skills. You are enhancing yourself. You are also learning.
And you're putting yourself out
there. And you're
there.
also putting yourself out there because you never know what can happen. Somebody may walk into the organization, or maybe they can ask, oh, I need somebody. And because you're a volunteer, they can, and maybe an opening may even come out in that organization where you are volunteering. And you never know what can happen. You may be the best person for that. But if you sit at home every day and say, oh, there is no job, Nigeria has failed me, my mother and my father has failed me, don't also fail yourself. If Nigeria fail you, yes, I know a lot of people, Nigeria has failed us. Just to also be fair to the young people out there. Nigeria has actually, in some way, failed the young people of Nigeria. But then, don't also fail yourself.
Don't remain on the floor.
Don't remain on the floor. Pick yourself up. The policy environment may not be good. Things are not working the way we want them to work. But you can change those narratives and the status quo if you try to do something different. So you have to go out there. Know what others are doing. Can you also learn from your peers? What are they doing? Or you have this mindset that I don't have to learn from anybody. I know everything. Nobody knows everything. And again, no man is an island. You have to go there, meet people. Know what is happening. Today, the world is continuously going into the digital space. And if you stay there, they'll leave you behind. Because if you don't, everything is fast moving. Now we are talking about AI, a lot of things. What's one skill can you even beat yourself and say, okay, I'm comfortable, not so much comfortable, but I can really pick up. And when I continue doing it, I can improve upon it. Instead of just sitting down and complaining every time, looking for one uncle or auntie to ask for money. If they did not now give you, they become wicked auntie. You know, we had those experiences when we are going. But now that adult is happening to us,
You understand
we are
better.
now understanding that they were never wicked. It was circumstances beyond their control.
So there are opportunities out there. You can create your own opportunity and jump on it. And things will fall in line when you create those opportunities. Amazing. Now, there's a popular saying that opportunity comes but once. I know it's somehow depressing when you hear opportunity comes but once and you're thinking, my own don't come and you don't pass. Where am I? Am I part of the people whose opportunity has passed? And then there's also this saying by Richard Branson. He said, opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming. How do we reconcile this? You know, when he says opportunities are like buses, does it mean, you know, I can be complacent, another one will come, no worry? Or should I be on the edge saying, if you be same one, don't pass? You know, how do we reconcile this?
Yeah, I think that's a good one, because it's looking as if both of those statements are like
two extremes,
too extreme and contradicting each other. Well, I'm also not part of that school of thought that believe that opportunity comes but once. Opportunities will always come. That's me. I believe opportunities will always come. There is that saying, people say opportunities come but once. Yes, but then I know with what we have also made to understand by the word of God, I want to anchor this on the word of God, because now is when we don't know who we are in Christ, when we don't understand the word, what God has deposited in us and what he wants us to do. That's when we believe in those narratives that opportunity comes but once. There are some opportunities that maybe you have struggled and it passes you by. Maybe it may be God that was telling you to be patient. Maybe it's not for you. I have to bring this because most times people really want to just sit down and say,
I really wanted to ask you
people really want to sit down and say opportunity. But there are sometimes you have fought for something. You have positioned yourself out there for something. You have worked for it, but it's not forthcoming. What did God's word say about that? You have to go back and also have a reflection. Maybe it may even be something that you are not doing well. Maybe you have not done what you are supposed to do.
You're not prepared.
You are not prepared, perhaps. And you need to really anchor all of these on the word of God. What has God said? Maybe God is even trying to remove something from you that perhaps if you have gone to that situation, it may be mercy. And you may not succeed there. So opportunities, yes, they may say it comes but once, but it's not true for me that it comes. There is always a lifetime opportunities. It keeps coming. It keeps coming. And there are some ones that will even come in a bigger way than what you felt you have seen in the past, right? And then coming back to saying what you said earlier about somebody saying that opportunities are like buses, and
there's always another one coming.
Yes, there is always another one coming. Yes, but then again, there is also is not uhuru. Is not all side fits it all for that. Again, some people who are, I don't want to call anybody lazy. Some people who are complacent. Some people who are so comfortable where they are. Some people who don't want to go out, that just want to remain in a comfort zone, will really like this word that says, yes, another one is coming. Maybe I don't miss this one. Don't worry, another one will come. Who told you? How are you even sure that another one will come that you fit in? Right? So it's not blue or black, or it's not blue or white, or black or white, or whatever. But my point I'm just trying to say is that opportunities will always come. But why also believing that opportunities will always come? Don't have a constrained mindset.
Make the best of
every opportunity, of every situation, of every circumstances, of every whatever that is happening there. Don't just relax and believe that things will always happen for you. Who told you? coming to Nigeria, there are like 200 million in this country, and everybody is continuously struggling, hustling and struggling to achieve something. So if you believe, I missed this bus today, okay, I will meet another one. I'm sorry to shock you that there are some flights, there is actually one flight that is going to a particular location. If you miss it for today, maybe it may be like next 2-3 days or so. That's when you can catch up, right? So it's not really about relaxing. My whole point in all this is that nobody should relax.
Be proactive.
You have to be proactive. You have to be on your feet. You have to keep continuously thinking and trying to make best of everything that comes your way. Instead of just relaxing, sitting down in your father's house, whiling away your time. Again, time waits for no man. Because as you are waiting for that opportunity to come like a boss, remember that time is ticking. You are not getting younger.
True.
You keep, as the year is going by, you are getting older. You are advancing in age. And you know, there are some things that, let me just say this. There are some times I didn't know. There are some opportunities then while I was still a bit younger. I'm still young though, but I mean younger than the age I am today. That I didn't really apply for some of those, maybe some fellowship that I see out there. But today, sometimes when I see it now between, you see that the criteria is for certain people within this age.
And you've been cut off.
I've passed that age bracket and I'm now wondering, really, how the time that I've already even passed, when did they born me, that I've passed this? But because I didn't use them then, maybe because life was busy, we are busy chasing other things, or maybe you didn't call them a priority. There are some times you'll be filled with so many things happening at once that you also need to prioritize. Like I said, those opportunities, I've missed them. And I can never pick them up again. Because now, when I see someone, sometimes they say people below certain ages, and they've consciously cut you off. You can never make it again to that age. So what I'm saying is that so that people also be aware that while you are sitting down and saying that opportunities may come, other things may come your way, yes, they may come, and they will definitely come. But then there are also other factors that may hinder you from taking them and assessing them. So it's actually neither then or there. For me, that's how I see all of this.
Amazing. You know, you said something about prioritization. And I'm wondering, is it every opportunity? You know, there are a lot of opportunities. I'm seeing a lot of opportunities to do this, to do this, to do this, to do that. You know, within a particular period or within a particular space. Is it every opportunity I see that is mine? How do I know, you know, how to align all of this? You know, let's put all of that together with exploiting the full potentials, our full potentials. You understand? Let's put all of this together.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Is actually not all opportunities that I can fit in, and it's also not all opportunities that you can fit in. I think the starting point is one, to even understand who you are. Understand who you are. What did God create you for? For me, that's the starting point. Before you now begin to say this. Because it's not everybody that will drive a bus. It's not everybody that will cook food.
True.
It's not everybody that will be president.
True.
It's one president of a nation at a time. Right? And this is also about opportunity. Because there are some people, just like you rightly pointed out, it's something that it is really making people not to really maximize their full potentials. There is always this, most times, identity issues. You know, these identity crises. Who are you? Who are you really? You know, some people actually have not discovered themselves. Let me just bring it home to the team for the AYF National this year, Jeremiah 1:5, about knowing who you are. Have you even identified who you are? Who are you? Have you identified your purpose Because that's one thing. And then the second one is also when you've looked inwards and you've identified and known who you are, then what other skills do you have that is outstanding, right? Because you don't just jump into everywhere. If you jump into a bus, it may take you to Lagos. Maybe your direction was never Lagos. Maybe you want to go to Kogi and you went to go and enter bus.
So you
because
must have a clarity.
Yeah, because you saw people that are going to Lagos. You say, okay, we'll go to Lagos. Remember again, there are most times they say that just because I mentioned Lagos, let me now say this, opportunities are so much in Lagos. But do you know that some people have jumped on that bandwagon, gone to Lagos, and nothing is working out for them?
Yes.
Because is not, maybe that's not where you're supposed to be. Maybe that environment is not really suited for you. And maybe you are also not made to fit in that environment. So you need to have a clarity. I like that word. You need to have a clear vision, a clear direction of what it is you want, right? Opportunities are everywhere. Most times they say, these will come here, these things are happening. But you can't fit in. Your personality may not be able to fit in some of those. You may go there and you will fail. You may go there and you will not succeed. But other people can go there and they make it. So maybe it's not what it is for you. So realize who you are. Have a clarity of purpose. Like a vision of what is it I want to do. Right? Because we are talking about also realizing your full potentials. If you don't have a vision,
you can't be in the wrong place and realize.
Exactly, you can't be in the wrong place and realize it. And there's some particular skills that you may have that is not fitting for that opportunity that you think it doesn't align. Does it even align with even your vision and your value? That is why I always hammer on. Most times we also need to look at value alignment. Realigning your values to things.
Okay, so we have like 2 minutes left. And in those 2 minutes, I want you to tie this together. Saturday, that's August 12th, is the International Youth Day, right? And I want you to tie that up with the qualities we need, to make the best of opportunities as your parting words. I know the viewers don't want to let you go, but hey, our time is almost up.
Yes, for Saturday is International Youth Day, and that is the day that youth all over the world are being celebrated. And of course, the month of August is actually the youth month. Anything about youth can happen in the month of August. Qualities that you need also to make the best of opportunities. For me, first of all, is creativity, right? You need to be creative. Like I said earlier, things are moving and it's moving fast.
Think outside the box.
So also need to be creative. Innovation. You need to be innovative. To bring up innovations, you need to continuously find out ways to challenge the status quo, things that are happening. Because innovation meets, when innovation and opportunity jam, oh my God, it will be mind blowing. You also need to have networking skills and people engagement skills, because you need to network. Do you know that some people that they go out every day, maybe by reason of the kind of job they do, but you just go for a meeting, you sit down, you don't meet people, you don't engage people, because you never know what can happen in that room. You also need to know how to network, right? And also be a good listener is also part of it. Listening well and also having the ability to learn from others.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Should I say there should be a part 2 to this conversation? Because I don't want to go. But hey, we have to go. Our time is fast spent. Yes. Opportunities are indeed golden. Do well to be properly positioned to make the best of it every time the chance presents itself. Your turning point may well be that next opportunity you ignore or overlook. They say opportunity comes in work clothes. So my beautiful ladies out there, get ready to get those hands of yours sold. you go wash and later when the results and accolades starts rolling in. Here's a gentle reminder that you, yes, you out there, you're worthy by design. So, oyao, no dawdling. Please do well to follow us on our Facebook at Worthy by Design. Till we come your way again next week, same time, same station, I'm Iberi Chims. Keep winning, because opportunities, they find you. See you next time.